It's always a great day to pitch. You know, I get pretty geeky about this. Today, we're going to hear from Dustin Baker from Made Tech. Thanks so much for going through the process to getting approved to pitch today. Really can't wait to hear about what you're going to tell us. And congratulations to both of them for getting through our process to appear here on the pitch day. StartUpNV is Nevada's nonprofit statewide startup accelerator and incubator program. We operate seven nonprofit programs for entrepreneurs or founders, if you prefer, and four for-profit investment funds. Our nonprofit is supported by government grants and corporate sponsors in the short term, but over the long term, it's supported by accelerator companies who donate a tiny bit of their equity to the nonprofit and to the investors in our funds who dedicate 5% of their profits to the nonprofit. That's also called a carry or carried interest for those of you who are interested. Now, we run pitch day for 100K every other Wednesday, where companies pitch for the Q&A and for entry into our accelerator program, which comes with an investment from Fund NV, which is our pre-seed fund. That's added to by our plus a matching amount from Nevada's SSBCI program. Since 2021, we've completed 33 transactions in 23 companies for a total of $6.2 million, with investments ranging on the low end from $50,000 to the high end. We just are closing an investment right now of $4 million. So that's the largest investment we've made to date. So our average, if you add all those investments and everything else together, the average investment is about $340,000 per company. So a respectable amount. Now for the legal disclaimer. The founders pitching today are pitching for investment from our SEC-compliant venture capital funds, along with our SEC-accredited and Nevada-certified investor syndicate. We invite the whole community to attend online and in person for educational purposes, kind of like watching Shark Tank. The educational component is critical to our economic development mission in Nevada. So once again, the pitches today are not a general solicitation for investment. For information on all that yamma jammer that I just was talking about, accredited investors and Nevada certified investors, head to our website, startupnv.org. We explain it all in a lot of detail there. So end of disclaimer. So our nonprofit would not be possible without financial help from the grants and sponsors. The biggies are the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, or as we call them, GOED, the EDA, and the USDA. So thanks so much for your support. All right, Dustin, you are up next. So why don't you start to share your presentation? And whenever you're ready, sir, take it away. And we can't wait to hear more about Made.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Cheryl LeBarr, and my co-founder, Dustin Butcher, down there in the other screen somewhere. We are the co-founders of Made Tech. We are powering the future of performance apparel with custom and made-to-measure automation. A few highlights just before we dive really deep. We have secured our first 3 B2B partnerships with Weston Ski and Snow based out of Colorado, Prior Ski and Snow in Whistler, Canada, and then Leisure Athlete in Revelstoke, Canada. We're also in early conversations with Patagonia, in beta testing with Alpine Stars, which is the second largest manufacturer of motorcycle apparel in the world, and True Gear based out of Portland, and a few awards there as well. Dustin and I have both been in the outdoor and performance apparel industry for decades. And in that time, we noticed some really, really big issues that were affecting both brands and consumers alike. So we've come at this from a little bit of a different direction as Aurelia, and I'll tell you a little bit how we got there. So for fit issues being a really big one, about 24% of online e-commerce returns are due to fit and sizing issues. So it's really common for consumers to buy, 5 or 6 jackets and then return all but one of them. So you have a brand that has their cash flow where it's like, oh, we had a $4,000 order. That's great. And then a customer returns them all and they actually end up with only a $400 order. So it's a really big pain point for brands. Brands have a really hard time fitting everybody. Standardized sizing is really a myth. If you think about it, you'll often see the same jacket fitting on the same size person very differently across brands. Brands are really trying to solve that issue. And over 68% of the North American market is over a size 14. So brands are trying to make this jump to be inclusive in sizing, but it's leading to big problems with overproduction. So the UN estimates that about 30% of apparel produced is never sold to an end consumer, which leads to massive sustainability issues for the brands themselves, but also huge loss in revenue. If you look at an outlet store like Patagonia, it is filled with product that is not being sold to consumers. They've overpurchased, and eventually a lot of that product is going to end up in the landfill, and the brand's never going to profit from it. Within all of that, impersonal design is a huge problem as well. Customers, as Aurelia pointed out earlier, are really, really leaning towards wanting that personalization and wanting that personal connection with brands, and brands are missing the mark on that. We actually started on the opposite side as Aurelia. We started as a direct-to-consumer brand. We left our jobs and we started Made Outdoor. We were making fully custom, made-to-measure outdoor apparel. And when we started the brand, we really wanted to make it efficient in manufacturing. So we were looking at the technology suites that were available and looking for tech that was going to help us scale quickly and be efficient in manufacturing, and it just didn't exist. So we created our own technology and we created Made Tech. With Made Tech, we allow brands to create product that is made to measure, so it fits perfectly every time, reducing their return rates. We have 100% inclusive sizing. We can fit anybody, no matter their size or shape. Made to order production means that brands can completely eliminate their overproduction and inventory risk, and then increasing that personalization and brand loyalty by giving brands a direct conversation with customers and what they're doing. So as I said, we were looking at the technology that exists on the market. And as Jeff was saying earlier, there are 3D scanners out on the market, and we wanted to use those to make our product. And what we realized was that even with the 3D scanning and all that information, it takes a lot of time and labor to process that. Alpine Stars already has a custom program. And with their manual measurements and their designer, it's taking them 15 hours to process that data into a final product. So we've created an in-between. Our tech digests that information. So we take the 3D measurements from a 3D scanner and the online customization of a brand's product, and it feeds through our system and automatically creates the assets that are required for production for a really highly technical product.
The market opportunity here is quite large. So as we look at just the custom opportunity within the sportswear market, you're looking at over a $3 billion TAM. And as we boil that down to really what we are focusing on with performance product, with outdoor specifically, with the opportunities there, we look at this 95 million as our serviceable obtainable within the next 3 to 5 years. So when we talk about that, we're talking about performance product. And what we mean by that is any apparel that is designed to move with the customer to improve their experience, whether it's on a mountain bike ride or on a motorcycle or at the gym or while doing yoga, whatever it may be, those are our customers. Those brands are our customers. Our revenue model is B2B SaaS. So we've got a bit of a land and expand strategy as far as the pricing and the systems that we've got set up. We start with our M-Size platform, which takes those 3D measurements and the pattern sizing of the brand itself and can make sizing recommendations to help reduce return rates online. And then moving up to our M-Custom system, this is more of what like the Nike ID program or something where you might add customizations to an existing product. And then our full made-to-measure program, which gives full like custom patterns, custom tech packs, all of those details that the factory needs to produce that garment on a one-off basis. As Cheryl mentioned, we started in the D2C space, and the Made Outdoor brand has been open for business for 1.5 winters now. And we've driven over 125K in sales there. We are now just launching our first B2B partnerships with Weston Fryer and Leisure Athlete, as Cheryl mentioned. And we are in great conversations so far with some bigger brands as well as some smaller brands across the outdoor and performance spaces to really help build that. And that's where we see our big growth opportunities coming forward is from the SaaS platform, working with existing apparel brands to expand their opportunity. The team is, so you've met the two of us so far. Cheryl and I are the co-founders. Cheryl as our COO, formerly from Arc'teryx on the product development side and specialized in developing for manufacturing and automation. My background as CEO, my background is all in the outdoor and performance space as well from the marketing and brand side of things. And then recently we've brought on Chummy Prestowitz from the Reno area and who is, you know, if you're in Reno, you likely know Chummy, and he's been involved in a bunch of the startups in the area. He's started his own programs there, and he's had some great exits in the space. We have worked with a number of the big brands in outdoor and performance apparel, and now it's really just kind of shifting those over to our customers rather than our employers that we've had before. We've also got a really robust team of advisors across performance and outdoor that we're excited to pull from and learn from as we continue to build this. We are raising $850K to scale the company. What that's going to do for us is it's going to evolve our MVP, which is fully functioning and running right now, into a fully packaged software with an expanded suite of integrations so that we can integrate with enterprise companies and the systems that they use, and making sure that the data is managed in the way that they need it to be managed, all of that. It will continue to build out our customer acquisition, bringing on our full licensees and sign partnerships, ultimately building toward that 2 million ARR that I showed in the traction slide. We're set up in a really great position right now to have a large impact on the industries that we're addressing, as well as the experiences of the customers in the sports that they want to get out and do. The Made Tech system allows brands to be inherently more inclusive, more sustainable, and more personal by creating product that properly fits every individual and can move with them in the sport or activity that they want to engage in. The customers that we are looking at are those like smaller apparel brands to very, very large apparel brands that make product in that performance space. So think yoga, think mountain bike, think at the gym, all those brands that are in your mind. That's exactly who we are targeting as we continue to build this out.
Thanks. Awesome presentations. And I was trying not to foreshadow the computer vision experience I had in clothing. So I'm glad that you addressed it head on. So thanks for doing that. Because I know when we were doing it, we had some cool technology, but everybody was really sensitive about having photos of themselves that might be somehow leaked. So I'm glad that you covered it. So thanks for coming out today. Thanks to both of or all three of our founders who presented today. And again, Cheryl, I'm sorry, didn't know you were presenting, so I didn't mean to skip you when I did the introduction. So apologies for that. And thanks to everybody who's here in the room with us in Vegas, and to all the folks who are on the Zoom link, to all those who are on the YouTube stream, and to those who are going to be watching this later. Thanks for tuning in and watching this video. Program notes as we wrap up. Founders, if you're looking for capital, please apply at StartUpNV.org. We have a few different programs that we run. Our Angel NV program just kicked off. We had 160 companies apply for the $400,000 in funding for that. So we were really pleasantly surprised that so many people were interested in that program. So thanks to everybody who applied at Angel NV. Investors, if you're curious about how to become an investor in one of the companies you saw today, or in any of the hundreds of companies that we look at every year, just check us out. We have a couple of different ways you can do that at our pre-seed fund at FundNV, and our annual conference fund, which we're running right now. It's super easy to join that group. So go to angelnv.com. It's a $5,000 investment. You just have to be an accredited investor. If you don't know what that is, check us out online at startupnv.org. We'd love to have a really big group of investors this year. We're up to about 47 so far. We usually have about 60 by the time we're done. We got a couple of months left to do that, but don't wait. Join now. If you call in the next 15 minutes, no, kidding. So join us in Angel NV. And once you're a member of any of our investing groups, you become a member of our syndicate, which means you get a chance to invest in all the deals that we do. So please join us if you can. Community members, we'd love to have you join us, even if you're not a founder or an investor. Join us. The two social media channels we concentrate most on are LinkedIn and YouTube. So we'd love to have you follow us on either one of those or really anywhere, finally. And thanks again to the founders who pitched today and all who listened in and asked questions. And to our investor group, thanks so much to you guys for supporting our mission here and for continuing to invest in this company. And to the StartUpNV team, which now numbers about 20 people. We're growing bigger and bigger every week, it seems. And again, thanks to our founders for coming out and pitching today. And for everybody who's watching now, we will be right back here again in 2 weeks with 2 other Nevada founders who will be presenting to us. And until then, take care of yourself. And if you can, someone else too. We will see you back here in 2 weeks. So long.